Well, we talked about our time. We talked about our talent. I'd like to now spend a little time talking about our treasures. For I believe we have a responsibility to support financially the churches where we worship. You see, during the days of the early church, worship was held in private homes or public spaces and did not have significant operating expenses. But now, things have definitely changed. We are concerned with salaries, rent, mortgages, utilities, maintenance, and even supplies. So the funds provided by the congregation is essential for the overall functioning of the church. And when the Lord has enabled us to support the church financially, it is a blessing. But with that said, I have a slightly different take on tithing. First, if one is able to tithe, then that, my friend, is a very good thing. On the first of the month, from my retirement check, I freely give, which happens to be more than a tenth. But I give not to receive anything from God, but I give cheerfully. The Bible tells us that each one give as he has made up his own mind and purpose in his heart, not reluctantly or sorrowfully or under compulsion. For God loves, he takes pleasure in, prize above other things, and is unwilling to abandon or to do without a cheerful, joyous, prompt to do it giver whose heart is in his giving. Now, yes, that's taken from the Amplified Version, but I believe it clearly explains what is required of a giver. To say that it is required by law to give the tithe is correct if you are under the law. But as Christians, we are no longer under the law, but we are now under grace. I heard a deacon once said that if you do not give the tithe, you are cursed with a curse. Again, that was taken from the Old Testament, and it was a message to the Jews, but not to the Christian. But if you feel obligated to give the tithe out of following the law, then you have the right. However, you need to remember, curse is everyone who does not continue in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them. This is why Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law, having become a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is everyone who hangs on a tree. We should give because it is the right thing to do. And even if you do give the tithe, which is a good thing, we give using Abraham as our example and not the law. The Bible tells us Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was the priest of God Most High and blessed Abram and said, blessed be Abram of God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth, and blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into your hand. And Abram gave him a tenth of all. Abram gave from the plunder of the battle. I believe he gave not reluctantly or sorrowfully or under compulsion. He received the blessing and in turn provided a blessing. No one told him to give the tithe, but I truly believe it was given from his heart. A question was asked: am I obligated to give the tithe if I'm having trouble paying my bills? If I do not pay my bills, I may not have a place to live and be able to support my family. Paul told Timothy, but if anyone does not provide for his own, and especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. So I leave you with this. Give into the church. Your tithes and your offerings is an important part of the worship experience. So as God has provided for you the ability to give not grudgingly or out of necessity, for God loves a cheerful giver. My brothers and sisters, be blessed.